Today I wanted to cover a couple of topics, and you're going to get to talk to me while I'm sitting here preparing dinner, which has its own lesson in it. A couple of things I want to talk about. One is coping skills for dealing with anxiety, frustration, depression. A lot of people use things like fidget toys. They have things like Play-Doh, clay. All those are awesome. I think they're great. They invented some coping toys. I don't know, not too long after the earth began. It's called preparing food. Yeah, I know. You're looking at me now like, what? Preparing food? Yes. Think about it for a minute. A lot of times people get up and tell me, I just don't have time to cook dinner. That's why I eat what I eat. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like literally, you long day, you work all day, you don't have time, you're coming home, everybody's starving. You grab, chicken flickin' or burger hopper, and you run it in the door and you throw it on the table and everybody eats it. And then everybody feels miserable for the rest of the night because you ate something really greasy and probably full of sugar or calories and preservatives, and you've kind of cost yourself time. So what do we do about that? Well, one of the things is eat healthy. Well, people go, I don't have time to eat healthy. I'm like, okay, you don't have time to eat healthy. Now, what else do you not have time for? Well, I ain't got time for doing those therapy exercise things you talk about, all that coping skill, breathing and things like that. I'm like, mindfulness exercises, don't got time for that, right? And I kind of get tickled because at some point it's like, look, you ain't got no time. How come you're anxious? How come you're sad or depressed? What do you mean? I'm like, well, if you ain't got no time, how do you find time to be anxious, sad, depressed, upset, angry, or frustrated? Oh, you got time for that. Now, I've got another video out about time and how we tend to holler, we ain't got time, and we all got the same amount of time. You got the same 24 hours I got. What you do with your time is a different story. So today, what I want to start with is, and I've already started prepping some of it, I'm cooking dinner. Now, it's a basic, simple dinner. So it's very inexpensive, well within the budget of most people. I don't know too many people that can't afford potatoes. Okay. If there's a farmer's market near you, all the better. It's even cheaper and it's fresher. Peppers, I haven't got them cut up yet, but I'll be cutting them as we talk because I'm going to show you this coping skill thing. Okay. So one of the things is coping skills, and people have fidget toys and stuff like that. And they go, well, I'm dealing with anxiety. And I'm like, if you take food like this pepper and you cut the little end off, see, and I'm just leaving it whole like that. And I'm kind of going to get the seed out. Now, when I get the seeds out, I take a little knife and run it in there. You can dig your finger in there and pull it out. Just letting you know, though, depending on how hot the pepper may be, your fingers start to get a little hot. And whatever you do, don't be rubbing your eyeballs with that finger. Definitely don't go to the bathroom with that hand, because that pepper oil stays on your hand. Well, you can imagine the consequences. And get the seeds out. Now, the more seeds that are out, the less hot it will be. If you leave one or two seeds in there, it's going to cook. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pepper. Sorry, it's fading in and out, but I'm using one of them fuzzy screens in the background. And I have a pan. I'm going to cook these in one of those air fryers. You don't have to have a fancy air fryer, but if they go on sale, they're cheap. They're great for healthy cooking. You can do this just as easy on the grill. I lay it on the grill and cook it on the grill like this. Put it in the oven, cook it like that. I don't even put no seasoning on it. It's going to have its own flavor. The vegetable itself will be full of flavor if you cook it. And you don't cook it till it's soggy. You leave a little crispness in it, which means if you're like a good old Southern cook, you're going to taste your food as you're cooking it. All right. Now, this act of doing this, preparing the peppers, is almost like a ritual. It's a way of dealing with stress, mindfulness focus on an object, and you're also getting your dinner ready. So, for those that don't have time, I'm like, well, I just cut your mindfulness practice and you're prepping your food into one activity, pretty much cut your time in half, and now you're saving time. Okay. Now you go, well, okay, what good does this do me? There's a certain amount of concentration and focus it goes on doing your vegetables. Now, if you want to play a little tune, play some music, have some background, I get it. I'm a big believer in singing to change mood, make you feel better. I think that's awesome. Okay. Excuse me, I have to thump it sometimes. Seed don't want to give up, come out of there. Okay. The thing is, though, is focusing on the vegetable as you're doing it. Now, there are some practices that will actually tell you that not only being mindful, but being grateful. Remember, I asked you to make that gratitude list. One of the things that you can do while you're cutting the vegetable is think about what goes into making this pepper. All right, being mindful of all the stuff that goes into making the pepper, the sunlight, the water, the earth, planting it, all these things, all the world is in this pepper. Sun, clouds, water, earth. It's all in this pepper. And this pepper has been blessed by many people. There's someone who went out and planted the pepper, someone who come behind and made sure that the pepper growed, watered the pepper. And when the pepper got big enough, they picked the pepper. Somebody then took these peppers and boxed them, crated them, shipped them off to some place where they could put them in individual bags and then send them to you. So when you think about it, there's a lot of things going on in this world that's making sure you get fed. There's a lot of people that go into getting you the food you eat and taking the time to make things for you so that you can live. If you want to be grateful for something, that's a good place to start. Now, if you're having a hard time being grateful for people, and some people get crabby, and I get it, not your thing, then be grateful for the sun and the earth and the clouds and the rain. Be grateful for the animals. A lot of times there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into growing a vegetable because all the nutrients in the ground, that's all the things that have passed before that have seeped into the ground. Being mindful and focusing on that can help you. And you go, well, why do I want to do this? I'm telling you now, this is going to calm you down. This is going to give you something to think about. Most of the people that I talk to that have ADHD excel in classes where they can use their hands. They love shop classes, mechanics classes, drafting classes where they actually get to build things, any kind of engineering tech. Some of the schools now actually have bio programs where they go through and they teach about planning and botany. Awesome. I think every school should have a program like that that teaches you the value of what it is you're growing, ways to sustain and grow more and to live a better, healthier life. Because all these things are important. And growing these bad boys is kind of easy. Pepper plants in a lot of places grow really well because you can grow them in a pot. And when the weather's, something that you can't sustain it because it's a little too chilly or whatever, bring a pot in the house. Put the pot in the window, let it get sunshine, watch it grow. When the peppers come out, them are your peppers. You pick them off. I'm telling you, a fresh vegetable right off of the stem, pulling down a pepper or a tomato, it will have more flavor than anything that's been in the store because that stuff in the store has been sitting there. It got shipped from somewhere on the other side of the world, took forever to get here. A lot of the real freshness has gone out of it. Fine ripened tomatoes, and they're good. The other thing is this is healthy eating. It's plain, no preservatives, no nothing else in it. So now you're getting a coping skill in with a healthy lifestyle skill change of eating healthier foods. Now that's part of what I'm giving you today because I'm going to go into some more stuff. So don't think you're getting out of the other therapy stuff, but I just want to do this because let's be honest, I'm also trying to get my dinner cooked. On the stove behind me, I have some potatoes boiling. They're little potatoes. And I'll just wash and clean them, put them in the pot and boil them. Then what I'm going to do is when they're pretty not done, I'm going to take them and wash them down, put them in some salt water, put in the refrigerator and let them sit there. Now they're going to be ready for me. So during the week, if I need a potato, I got one already boiled, ready to go. All I got to do is warm it up. Microwave, you got a microwave. If you got an oven, broiler, or one of those stir fry or anything like that, you can chop them, put them in that. If you have air grill, you can cut it up, put it in there. They come out great. Now the thing is, that's going to save you more time. So for all y'all that are hollering, you don't have time. Yeah, you do. And this is a way to spend it better. This is also a great way to spend time with your kids or your family. If you got somebody in your family that, you know, one of the things is they're busy doing their TV thing. And this kills me in a lot of families. Nobody cooks together. Nobody does things together. Nobody's showing the next generation how to prepare food. Everybody's eating the fast stuff. I mean, this is going to save you money. You're telling me you ain't got time. I'm telling you, well, one of the things that you have with your time is you sell your time for money. That's where you work and get your paycheck. Now, if I told you that there's something you could do that would earn you an extra hours of pay every week, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, maybe, you'd be like, great, what is it? And I'm like, find a cheaper way to feed yourself. Because when you're preparing your own food like this, you're saving a lot of money. Especially for those of you that live near a farmer's market. Man, you can go up to the farmer's market, hit those guys up for all kinds of fresh vegetables, squash, peppers, potatoes. This is some of the staples. I mean, you know, corn, beans, and squash was the basic of Native Americans who lived on here. Did quite well with that. Now, the other thing I'm going to sit here and ask you about is, have you been working on your goals? Told you wasn't getting out of therapy this week. And you go, what do you mean goals? Well, I'm going to hit you up with that again because it seems like I keep going over and over it with folks. And I ask people, what are your goals for therapy? Well, what do you mean? I want to feel better. Let's be more specific. What would be better for you? Where are you now? Are you sad now? Are you worried now? If you're not, then how much better do you want to get, man? Now, if you're telling me that, oh, hey, let me put these potatoes. I already cut these bad boys up, mixed potatoes. I'm going to take them and put them in the microwave for a few minutes. When they get soft enough to push a fork into them, and I'm going to take them out and put them in that air fryer. And I don't put oil on them because I'm trying to hold off on that stuff. And I'm going to cook them just like this, and they're going to have the potato flavor. Now, for those of you that can have the salt, I need to lay off some of it. You can put salt on your potato, but what I advise you to do is not put it on there now. Because it's going to fall off as you cook it. You can cook them and put the salt on the plate and roll them in the salt. And that gets you the amount of salt you want to eat. There ain't nothing wrong with salt. It's actually good for you. It's just that some of us need to eat a little less than others. And I'm one of those people that need to eat a little less. So let me go put these over in the microwave. So I did it for 4 minutes. We'll see how that goes. Now, I got my rack of peppers. They're going to cook just like that. When those potatoes come out, I'm going to put them on another rack, cook that like that. I'll have potatoes and peppers. Good to go. And like I said, I got the other potatoes over there boiled, and they're little golden potatoes. There's a lot of different potatoes in this world. If you don't know that, you ain't been paying attention. Open your eyes and look around at your world. There's a lot of different things. Every potato has a different flavor. What does it matter? It matters a lot because if you're buying your food for flavor, you want to taste different things. You want variety. Variety actually helps your mind stay more agile. The more variety there is in your life, The more ways you think, the more you think in different ways, the less likely you are to have those problems later on in life where your mind has become fixated and you don't have the ability to think like that anymore. So where was I at? Oh, goals. See, got back to it. Southern boys always get back to the story. So a lot of people are telling me they don't really understand or think or know what their goals are. And I'm like, well, let's figure out a way to do that. And one of my favorite exercises is the perfect day exercise. In other words, if you can only tell me what's wrong, like you're sad, okay, and we'll go with that one. That's what we're going to work on. You're sad. And I'm like, what would it be like tomorrow if you were to wake up and you weren't sad? Oh, it'd be great. No. Back up. We need some detail. When you wake up in the morning and you got up, sit up in the bed, what would let you know that you're not sad? What would you feel, see, or do that would be different? What would make your perfect day? Now you go, what do you mean? I'm like, no, think about it. When you wake up and you're in a bad mood, when you wake up and you feel bad, when something happens, you feel a certain way, you think a certain way, you do certain things. Now, in this scenario, this is your perfect day. So when you wake up, when you're not sad, what would that be like? What would happy be for you? Oh, well, I'd smile when I woke up. I'm like, okay, let's put that down on a piece of paper. You wake up, smile. All right. Now you smile. What are you going to do? What do you mean? So was there someone else in the house? Yeah. When you're in a good mood and you're feeling good, what do you say or do that lets the other person know, oh, they're obviously in a good mood today? Oh, well, I'm gonna say good morning, and I might be humming a tune or whistling or singing, or I might put on a little music. Great. So we're gonna sing, or we're gonna. How will you be walking when you come out of the room? What difference does that make? Makes a lot of difference. Oh, well, I think I'll be walking a little bit more step. I'll be a little bit faster. Okay, a little bit faster pace. Okay, now we got something going. How will you greet all the people in your world during the day that you bump into if you're in a great mood? Oh, well, I'd smile. I'd tell them good morning. I might ask them how they're doing. Great. And what would it be like when you go outside, when you're walking to your car, walking to the bus, or walking to where you got to go, to work? Now, I can't get you out of work in this perfect world. Uh-oh, potatoes. I can't get you out of work, but when you go to work, what would it be like at work? Well, I mean, if I was in a good mood at work or whatever, I'd be smiling and chatting with everybody and saying hi. So what would it be like when you sit down to lunch? Do you have lunch with your coworkers? And yeah. What would it be like? Oh, I'd chat, and I said, well, when you're in a good mood, would you go lock yourself in the bathroom and stay on your phone all day or something like that? Oh, no. I'd do that to get away when I'm feeling bad. Oh, okay. Are you starting to get what I'm talking about now? Are you starting to catch the subtleties of this? Because what happens is if you can see how you're going to act different when you've achieved your goal of being happy, then my question is why can't you do that from the get-go? Of course, you're probably going, what do you mean do that from the get-go? I'm like, well, let's need a little bit more. Give it another minute. What do you mean? I'm like, well, if you are smiling, friendly, singing, walking with a different step, faster, maybe a better clip, better pace, If you are kinder to the people that you work with during the day and you spend a few minutes being nice to them, you ever think that maybe if you did that to begin with, your mood would start to change? Even if you didn't feel quite happy, it would impact your life a little bit. People go, well, yeah, but I don't want to. And I'm like, so you don't want to be happy? No, I want to be happy. Then you don't want to do the things that make you happy. Yeah, I just seen that ton of bricks fall on you. A lot of times it's about doing the things in life that will make you happy, doing the things in life that will make you feel good, calm, relaxed, just in a generally better mood, better place. Now, the perfect day exercise goes as far as to actually sit down and write it out with a piece of paper. Sit down, handwrite, don't telephone, don't record. Write out your perfect day. For those of you that are artistic, draw your perfect day. But I'm not that good. I have to go with the write. And write down what each and every part of your day would be like on a great day, a day where you're happy, or a day where there's a general feeling of lightness, that stress has left the building. You know, that those things that you consider a problem, first, what is the actual opposite of that? Okay, go poke these potatoes. Hold on. Choppers are hot. Oh, yep. They're where I want them to be. I'll give you a trick. If you're using an air fryer or anything like that with a cage, you want to lay those potato skin down. Don't do what I did. Put them the other way down, and they cook into the mesh on these baskets or whatever. So don't do that. Otherwise, you're trying to scrape them out of there, and that ain't no fun. Where to put my tongs, because I also know better to touch them bad boys. Now you see what I'm doing here? A lot of times, see, I'm playing back and forth with y'all. A lot of times people will tell me they don't have time to cook a meal or prep food. And I'm like, why can't you do it? I mean, it'd be better if you did it mindfully, but I'll take what I can get. Put on a video that you want to watch. Yeah, it's not great. You know, I would rather you do it and actually pay attention to the vegetables. But like I said, I'll pick and choose my battles. If I can get you to just do this, I will say that if you're doing this and you're focused on the food and you're focused on what I told you, being mindful of where it came from, who helped get it to the table, you will feel better. In fact, to me, this is one of my perfect days. Perfect day for me is being able to take the time to sit and prepare food for somebody else. You go, what? Yep, serve somebody else. I was talking to somebody the other day and they said, and I think they kind of hit on something, that they feel that part of the keys to happiness is being able to have a purpose. I'm like, yep, I will agree with that. And another one of the things to being happy is being able to communicate with somebody. Now, I put it like that loosely because sometimes people will take that as a romantic partner interest. Could be. I'll give you that. Oh, excuse me. I got to go check these bowling potatoes. Yep. Yep. They're ready to. Sharing a meal with somebody is being with somebody. Your meal should be something you sit down and enjoy with a person. Conversation is welcome. Connecting with the other person is welcome. And there's something about making food for other people. It's like putting your heart and soul into what you're doing and you're sharing that with somebody. That's why I always tell people, don't cook when you're angry. It's not cool. Bad juju. Stop for a second, breathe, calm down, and then realize that what you're putting into the food is what you're going to share with the other person. When you care about people, you want them to have the good stuff. All right. So those are prepped already. So now I got my potatoes, I got my peppers. That's going to be the biggest part of my meal and probably the biggest part of our conversation. Finding someone to communicate with. Now, again, that all goes back to this other stuff because when you're calm, friendly, nice, people notice it and people want to take a moment in time to talk to you. They want to have a conversation with you. They want to spend time with you and you want to spend time with them. And even if it's just one person, I'm not saying you got to have a bunch. This way I include everybody from the introvert to the extroverts, having a little somebody in there to talk to, share things with, do stuff with. The other thing is in the act of preparing food, you are serving yourself, making yourself healthier. You are also serving the other person by presenting them with something you're sharing and you're making your life better. So what all did we cover today? Using preparation of food as a way to self-soothe, self-calm, to be mindful, and to focus. Using preparation of food to save yourself money so that you save yourself time that you're going to be spending trying to make money to pay for food that somebody else prepared for you. You also, by preparing your own food, you create more time for yourself because you can cook, and I cook enough food to last for several days. And so later on in the week when I'm busy and I'm jumping and I'm, during the day, I'm literally not in the house and I have to pack my food to take with me. It's already there. It's already prepped. It's ready to go. So I've actually created several fortuitous opportunities for my own self by getting my stuff prepped, ready, and done. And it's healthy and it's good for me. I'm going to feel better. And I share it with somebody else. I'm going to be more connected. And while you do it, think about your perfect day. Please take time to try that exercise where you actually go through and whatever it is that you feel that you want to overcome, sit down and think about what it would be like if you woke up tomorrow and that problem was overcome. What would your life be like? What are all the good things that would happen? Don't focus on the knots. Don't go, well, this wouldn't be this way and I wouldn't have that. No. Stay away from that. Focus on the things you will have. Focus on the things that will be good. Focus on the things that you will see come to fruition here. Positive focus. And that exercise will also help you change your life because it'll also help you hone in on what it is you want as a goal, because that's what you're going to see on that perfect day. And then if you know your goals, you can move towards them and achieve them. So lots of things today, lots of different stuff. I hope it all ties in together for you. I hope you have an awesome Sunday. Namaste. I'm going to go cook some potatoes and eat them.